Hey guys, my name is Arushi and today I'm going to be talking about two contemporary books I just read. So the first book I read was Holding Up the Universe by Jennifer Niven. Jennifer Niven did write All the Right Places, which is on the back. It's like this, and it's a pretty popular contemporary novel, so she's more or less set herself as like a pretty popular contemporary author. And this book follows a really interesting plot. It's about this girl named Libby and this boy named Jack, and Libby had something happen to her, so she started gaining a lot of weight. She had to be like physically taken out of her house like by a crane, and so after a couple of years she sort of lost some weight, worked on herself a bit, and then came back to junior year of high school the first day. Jack has this thing called prosopagnosia. Okay, so it's described as this condition where you don't remember people's faces. So as soon as you see it, it doesn't really stick to memory. You can't recognize faces of familiar people. Everyone is a stranger to you. So the thing I don't understand with this book is there are a lot of little logistical issues, like why can't Jack recognize people by their voice? Why can't Jack remember that his mom is like standing right there? Maybe he doesn't remember the face, but if he literally looks back, looks at her again, the woman standing there is going to be his mom. Maybe it's like that, but the way he describes it, I'm like, okay, go off. I'm so confused by this. And there's some logistical issues towards the end about how like scenes are flowing together. But overall, I guess it's like a light contemporary novel about two teenagers coming of age who face their fair share of difficulties and kind of come together. And there's some weird circumstances, but come together to kind of address what each other's problem is. So, Jack's helping Libby out, Libby's helping Jack out. It's a story about just like identity and, love and friendship and things like that. And it's a really interesting book. It's not like my favorite go-to contemporary. I maybe rated like 3 or 4 stars, like 3.5. It was fine. I wasn't like really attached or anything, and I think it's supposed to be a little bit heavier than it is, but I felt it as really light. So if you think you want to read something light, something contemporary, I would definitely recommend this book. So the next book, aka the last book, is They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera. This book is more contemporary, leaning just a tidbit to the sci-fi realm of novels. The only reason I say that is because it takes place in this exact society in this exact time right now, like 2017. It's a couple years ago, but like 2017. But everyone knows when they're gonna die. So every day between 12 and 3 a.m. there's calls that go around from this company or this group called Deathcast, and if you get your call, that means you're gonna die within the next 24 hours. The one big question is really never answered, and it's not even like a pinpoint of this book, I'd say. Like, who's gonna die? Like, when do they know they're gonna die? It's like, that's never the focus. It's more about these two boys named Mateo and Rufus, who are our main characters. They both get the call that day, go onto this app called the Last Friends app, which is an app that's designed for people who are dying that day to meet other people so that they can live their best life one last day. And you don't know when you're gonna die, right? So there's this like uncertainty about it, but it kind of pushes you to live your best life in the moment. One thing I really liked about this book is how it forces you to think about how you perceive death and what is your relationship with it, especially if you think about it. These guys know they're gonna die within the next 12, 14 hours, but they're thinking about dying and just trying to finish their legacy because they're young. They're like 18 and 19. They aren't, 60, 70, 80 years old. They haven't lived their life, and it's really interesting because it forces you to think about just like, what would you do if you got your death call? What would you do? Like, that's it. And this book has definitely gotten great reviews all over the world. I don't know, like all over BookTube, and I definitely agree. I would definitely go pick this up if you're looking for something a little bit more emotional, because whether or not, the intent is that they both die at the end of the book, and whether or not that goal is is reached or if we don't know. Like, I'm not going to tell you that, but there's definitely a lot of emotions following these two very different guys who come together is quite the story, and I would definitely recommend if you're looking for something a bit more emotional. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, I definitely recommend reading these books. If you're looking for something a bit more light, I'd recommend Holding Up the Universe by Jennifer Niven, and if you're looking for a little bit more emotion in your contemporary read, I'd recommend They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera. Both books really great. Contemporary is not really my thing, so I don't have a lot to say about it, but it's definitely something, you know, we gotta read, and sometimes a very distinct reflection of our own lives. So yeah, pick them up, read them. Thanks for watching. Remember to like and comment, but more importantly, share and subscribe, and see you next time. Bye.